Chapter 60-68. Charlie asked her, "Have you seen the ticket? Is there a suitable flight the day after tomorrow?" Claire said, "Ms. Fay said that she would directly arrange for the Fay family's special plane to take me back. But I'm embarrassed. The cost of a special plane flight is in millions. How can I let people spend money?" Elaine quickly said, "Girl, then you can take a regular flight back. And let her directly discount the money for the private plane to you. Discount you for $1 million. Charlie said quickly, "The Fay family has a lot of planes. If they don't usually fly, just throw them away. That needs to be maintained. The actual cost of one extra flight is actually not that high. In addition, there is no direct flight from New York back to Ores Hill. You have to transfer in the middle. It's too troublesome. I'd better ask Ms. Fay to arrange a special flight to bring you here." Claire said with some embarrassment, "But that's so embarrassing." Charlie said, "There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Besides, this is Miss Fay's suggestion. I will call her later to thank her." After saying that, Charlie added, "You have been in the United States for so long. Maud, Dad, and I miss you very much. Come back as soon as you finish the things at hand. Miss Fay will arrange a flight to take you off. You can go directly to the airport after finishing your work. You can get home after just sleeping on the plane. Otherwise, you have to wait for the flight to take off, and you have to transfer in the middle, and you don't know how long it will be delayed." Claire saw that Charlie had said this, so she nodded slightly, stuck out her tongue, and whispered, "Actually, I also want to go back early, but I just feel embarrassed to let people spend money." Charlie smiled and said, "Then you don't have to be embarrassed. When your husband makes money to buy a private jet." Claire thought it was a joke and said casually, Okay, but I don't want you to work too hard." After that, a professional woman came to Claire's office. She said politely, "Ms. Wilson, our next meeting is about to start. Would you like to push it back?" Claire said quickly, "No, I will be there right away." After that, she said to Charlie, "Husband, I won't talk anymore. I have a meeting soon to touch on the follow-up and finishing issues. I will talk to you later." "Okay." Charlie smiled and said, "You work first, and we'll talk when you're done." After hanging up the video, Elaine couldn't help but mutter, "Hey, you guys tell me, if Claire works for Miss Fay, how much does Miss Fay have to pay her? Their fee, the family seems to be very powerful. 18 million shouldn't be too much, right?" Jacob rolled his eyes at her and asked, "Do you think the rich people's money comes from strong winds? Work for the rich. It's nothing more than a market price. Can a cleaner who sweeps floors for Apple make millions of dollars a year?" Elaine scolded disdainfully, Jacob, you are really f***ing worthy of yourself, with someone like you. Are you comparing your daughter to the cleaning staff? In your eyes, we are on the same level as the cleaning staff at Apple." Jacob said hurriedly, "I didn't mean that. I mean, even if you give Apple, working in a company is nothing more than getting paid as much as you should. Although Claire is doing well in her field, having an income of several million in a year is already very good. How long have you been in the United States? What do you want? Isn't it nonsense that someone gave Claire 18 million? Elaine said disdainfully, "You don't understand the ways of the world at first glance, so Miss Fay found our son-in-law to help her with feng shui. So as to give the son-in-laws a face, she won't pay less." Charlie heard that the two of them were arguing about something, and he also had a headache. At this time, his WeChat received a message from Stella, which read, "Mr. Wade, can you answer the phone?" Charlie then said to Elaine and Jacob, "Mom, Dad, I'm going back to the room first." After that, he got up and went upstairs. Back in the bedroom, Charlie made a voice call to Stella. After the call was connected, Stella said respectfully, "Mr. Wade, I'm disturbing you so late." Charlie said, "Miss Fay, you're welcome. Just now Claire talked to me. You have already started finishing the work, right?" "Yes." Stella said, "In order not to make your wife suspicious, I have arranged all the normal procedures and will wait for the completion. After it's completed, your wife can go back. After that, Stella added, the current situation at the construction site announced to the outside world is that there are some legal disputes, but I have also let the outside world know, and I am looking for ways to seek an out-of-court settlement. Trying not to go to court as much as possible, so this matter can be resolved quickly. It all depends on your needs. If you no longer need your wife to come to the United States, this project can be put on hold. If you need her again next month to come back, I can directly announce that we have reached a settlement with the other party and can resume construction. Charlie admired Stella's intelligence and agility in his heart, so he said with a smile, "Thank you, Miss Fay, for making such a thorough arrangement and having enough room for advancement and retreat." Stella said hurriedly, "You're welcome, Mr. Wade, this is what I should do, and I did it." Charlie remembered the plan of Shuayun Villa, so he asked her, "Miss Fay, I have something else to ask you for help." Stella said without thinking, "Mr. Wade. Within the scope of my ability, I will try my best." Charlie smiled and said, "It's not a big deal. I want to buy your villa in Shuayun. The location is very good and it's very close to the Champs-Élysées. In the near future, I plan to take over the entire villa area and make other plans." Stella smiled and said, "No problem, Mr. Wade, to tell you the truth, the reason why I bought the villa in Shuayun Villas was to find an opportunity to approach you. It has fully played its role. You can use it anytime you need it. I will ask the staff from China to transfer the property rights to you." Charlie was not polite to Stella and said, "Then I'd like to thank Miss Fay." Stella said, "Mr. Wade is so polite. It's an honor for Stella to serve you." After reaching an agreement with Stella, Charlie called Doris. Doris hadn't answered Charlie's call for a long time, so her voice couldn't contain her excitement and she said, "Chairman, do you have anything to do with me?" Charlie said, "Doris, you know the situation at Shuayun Villa. I want to take it all, but I can't take it with a big fanfare. So the price can't be too outrageous to avoid being noticed by interested people. Do you think it's difficult?" Shuayun Villa, Doris pondered for a moment and said, "Chairman, Shuayun Villa should be a villa area with a certain age. After I took over the Emgrand Group, I read the previous information of the Emgrand Group. In the beginning, the Emgrand Group was also preparing to compete for that land. Later, due to the lack of supporting facilities in the surrounding area, it was given up. It's in the mountains in the suburbs. It hasn't been developed over the years, and housing prices haven't risen. It shouldn't be difficult to get it." Charlie felt happy and said, "Doris, then you can help me arrange some capable business personnel. First find out the owner information of Shuayun Villa, analyze the current occupancy rate of Shuayun Villa, and then analyze the age level and employment status of the staying owners. After getting all the information, go to the villa owners in Shuayun Villa who have private one-to-one contact and can use the identity of the group and different people to buy all the villas in Shuayun Villa one by one. There is room for price increases, but they must be careful. Real estate prices employees in the industry have a very keen sense of smell. If they know that someone is purchasing Shuayun Villa at a high price that is not in line with the market conditions, it will definitely cause unnecessary trouble. So I hope you can do it as soon as possible without being noticed. Get the entire Shuayun Villa as soon as possible." Doris said immediately, "Okay, Chairman, I will arrange this matter. I will report to you as soon as possible if there is any progress." Taking Shuayun Villa to secretly build a base was something Charlie had no choice at the moment. Oris Hill is an inland city with a very high population density. It is almost impossible to find a place where you will not be disturbed at all, so you can only find a way to move to the suburbs. In fact, Charlie has also thought about whether to buy a private island for comprehensive renovation. But in China, it is not feasible to buy an island and completely renovate it freely. If you want to buy an island with permanent property rights, you can basically only choose the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean through formal channels. These places are too far away from China, and small islands cannot build large airports, making it difficult to take off and land medium and long-range passenger planes. To go to a distant place, you have to go to a nearby big city first, which is not flexible enough, so in Charlie's opinion, it has no practical significance yet. Although the Maldives and many small archipelago countries will also sell their islands in disguise, their sales have a lot of prerequisites. The first one is business attributes. The islands can be sold to you for tens of thousands of dollars, but you must within the stipulated time begin construction. And it cannot be built into a private estate. It must be built into a commercial hotel, and it must also pass government acceptance. As a result, if you take an island, you have to invest at least tens of millions of dollars to build an island resort hotel. It is impossible to transform it into a secret base or fortress privately. However, the idea of renovating Shuayun Villa did give Charlie a reminder. He felt that he could pay attention to the current island market in advance, and if there was a suitable one, he would start the project in advance. After all, the time cost of transforming an island is very long. No matter how much money is available, infrastructure projects must be carried out step by step. In most countries, including the United States, it may take 10 or even 20 years to build a road, let alone transforming an island. Moreover, since the renovation must be carried out secretly, at least it must be one thing on the outside and another on the inside. This requires an absolutely trustworthy construction team. The first choice that came to Charlie's mind was the Cataclysmic Front and the engineers under Hamid. If a suitable island is really chosen, the construction would have to be left to them.